The arena sand was dark with old blood, packed hard by years of dying feet. Rinna knelt in it, one hand pressed against her ribs, the other clutching the broken haft of her spear. The weapon had snapped when the champion struck it aside, as easily as a child breaking a twig. Her breath came shallow, each inhale burning. She tasted iron and dust and knew she was out of time. Above her, the crowd thundered. Tens of thousands of alien voices merged into a single hungry roar, demanding an ending. They had already decided which one of them would leave the arena alive. Across the sand, the champion waited. Corthel the undefeated stood nearly 8 feet tall, his plated hide catching the arena lights in shades of bronze and crimson. Scars traced his arms like trophies. 300 victories were carved into the metal rings at his throat. 300 deaths, all earned here, all witnessed, all celebrated. He lifted his execution blade with ceremonial patience, letting the moment stretch. Rinna lowered her eyes. She thought of her younger brother in the debt pens below, counting days he might never see finished. She thought of the transport ship they had borrowed credits for, the engine failure, the fine print that had condemned them both. If she died here, at least the debt would be settled. At least he would walk free. Corthel stepped forward. The blade rose higher, blotting out the lights above. Rinna closed her eyes and braced for the final strike. The sound that followed was wrong. It wasn't the heavy rush of steel cutting air, nor the wet impact she had imagined 1,000 times in the nights before the fight. Instead, something sharp hissed past her ear, close enough to stir her hair. A heartbeat later came a dull, brutal thud. The crowd's roar collapsed into silence. Rinna opened her eyes. Corthel stood frozen, blade still raised. His massive body trembled once. Then she saw the arrow. It jutted from his eye socket, buried to the fletching. Black feathers quivered against bronze scales. The champion's mouth opened as if to speak, but no sound came. His blade slipped from his grasp and struck the sand. A moment later, his body followed, crashing down with enough force to shake the arena floor. Corthel the undefeated did not rise again. Rinna stared, her mind refusing to accept what her eyes were showing her. Someone had killed the champion. Someone had done it with a single arrow. And she was still alive. A figure dropped from the upper arena wall, landing in a low crouch 20 paces from Rinna. Stone dust puffed beneath his boots. He straightened slowly, unhurried, as if he had all the time in the world. Rinna felt her breath catch. He was human. Not armored. Not adorned. No crests, no battle paint, no trophies. He wore simple dark clothing, worn but clean, the kind meant for travel rather than war. In his left hand rested a longbow of dark wood, smooth and unmarked, its string already humming faintly from the shot just loosed. His right hand moved calmly to the quiver at his side. For a heartbeat, no one moved. Then the arena exploded into chaos. Shouts tore through the stands as guards poured from iron gates, weapons raised, boots hammering stone. The silence shattered into panic and outrage. Rinna scrambled backward, dragging herself away from Corthel's fallen body, her eyes never leaving the human. He didn't run. He didn't even flinch. He simply stood there, watching the guards advance with an expression of mild interest, as if they were weather approaching in the distance. A booming voice cut through the noise. "Who dares?" High above, in the royal viewing box, Governor Zaureth rose from his throne, his many-ringed arms spread wide. His frills flared in fury as his gaze locked onto the lone figure below. "Who dares defile the sacred arena and slay my champion?" The human tilted his head back to look up at him. When he spoke, his voice was quiet, almost conversational, yet it carried across the arena with unsettling clarity. Someone had to. A ripple passed through the crowd. "You have murdered a consecrated champion," Zaureth thundered. "You have violated our law, our tradition, our justice. Do you know the penalty for such an act?" The human's eyes never left the governor. "I know exactly what you do here," he said. "I've watched for days. I know you take the desperate and force them to fight. I know you gamble on how long they last. I know you call it order." "It is our way," Zaureth snarled. "It is none of your concern, human. I'm making it my concern." The guards had formed a wide circle now, at least 24 of them, blades and rifles trained on the lone archer. Still he did not raise his bow. Rinna found her voice at last, raw and trembling. "Why?" she called. "Why save me?" The human glanced at her. For a brief moment, his hard focus softened. "Because I could," he said. "And because it was wrong not to." Zaureth slammed a clawed hand against his throne. "Seize him. Bring him to me alive. He will bleed in this arena like all the rest." The guard surged forward. The human's hand moved. 3 arrows appeared in the human's hand, knocked and drawn in a single fluid motion. The bow bent, the string sang, and the shots came so fast they sounded like one breath. 3 guards fell screaming, weapons clattering from numb fingers as arrows buried themselves cleanly through knee joints. None were dead. All were out of the fight. The remaining guards skidded to a halt, shock rippling through their ranks. "I don't want to kill you," the human called out calmly, already drawing 3 more arrows. "But I won't let you take me either. Stand down." Zaratha's harsh laughter echoed from the royal box. "There is one of you and thousands of us," the governor sneered. "You cannot win. You cannot escape." "I don't need to win," the human replied. "I just need to make this expensive enough that you listen." Rinna felt the air change. The crowd leaned forward, sensing something had shifted, though few understood what. "So here's what's going to happen," the human continued. "You're going to release every debt prisoner in your holding cells. You're going to end these forced arena fights. And you're going to do it today." Outrage exploded from the stands. Zarath bared his teeth. "And why would I ever agree to such absurd demands?" "Because if you don't," the human said evenly, "I'll kill every champion you have. One by one. From places your guards can't see and weapons can't reach. I've already proven I can do it." He gestured slightly toward Korthal's corpse. "We will hunt you down," Zarath hissed. "Across worlds." "Try," the human said. "I've been hunted before. I'm still here." A new voice cut in. "Father, wait." A younger male stepped forward beside the governor, his posture controlled, his frills subdued. Zaratha's heir. He surveyed the arena below, eyes sharp. "Consider this carefully," the son said. "The games have drawn criticism for cycles now. Ending them under threat allows us to claim reform, not weakness. Refusing invites ongoing losses and public humiliation." Zaratha's gaze flicked between his son and the archer. "You would have me bow to a terrorist?" "I would have you protect our power," the son replied. "This costs us little and saves us face." Silence stretched. The human waited, bow lowered but ready. At last Zarath spoke. "If I agree," he said slowly, "what assurance do I have that you will not slaughter my champions regardless?" "My word," the human answered. "Humans keep their promises." "And if I refuse?" The bow rose. The arrow flew. It struck the wooden arm of the governor's throne, embedding itself inches from Zaratha's hand. "Then I keep that promise too." The arena held its breath. For a long moment, Governor Zarath did not move. The arrow trembled in the wood beside his hand, a silent reminder of how close certainty had come to ending. Slowly, deliberately he raised one clawed palm. "Enough," he said. The guards hesitated, then began to lower their weapons. Confusion rippled through their ranks, followed by uneasy relief. Zaratha's gaze remained fixed on the human below. "Very well," the governor said at last. "The debt prisons will be emptied. The arena games will end. By my authority, this practice ceases today." A wave of stunned silence swept the stands before breaking into scattered, uncertain noise. Some cheered. Others simply stared, struggling to understand what they had just witnessed. Zarath exhaled heavily. "And you, archer," he continued. "What is your name, so I may remember who ended a tradition older than my rule?" The human relaxed his bow and looked up. "My name's Eli," he said. "Just Eli. Nothing special. I was here and I could help." Rinna pushed herself to her feet, pain flaring through her ribs. She barely felt it. "What about us?" she asked, voice shaking. "What happens now?" Eli turned toward her and smiled. It wasn't triumphant or proud. It was warm. "Human. You walk out of here free," he said. "You and your brother. No debt. No chains. You get a second chance." Tears blurred her vision. She had entered the arena ready to die. Now the future stretched open in front of her, terrifying and bright all at once. "How do I repay you?" "Don't," Eli said gently. "Just pass it forward. When you see someone who needs help and you can give it, do it." Around them the arena felt changed. Guards cleared paths instead of blocking them. Medics hurried toward the fallen. The crowd no longer roared for blood. It murmured, unsettled, thoughtful. Eli offered Rinna his hand. She took it and he steadied her. "Can you walk?" "I think so." "Good. Let's go find your brother." No one stopped them as they moved toward the gates. Not a guard. Not a governor. The system that had demanded her death had broken in a single afternoon. As they passed Korthal's body, Rinna looked once more at the fallen champion. 300 victories. Ended by one arrow and a human who refused to look away. "Are all humans like you?" she asked quietly. Eli shrugged. Some better. Some worse. Mostly we just try to do the right thing when we notice something wrong. They disappeared into the tunnel, leaving the arena behind. Somewhere below, her brother waited, unaware that freedom was coming. And somewhere beyond this world, a message would spread. Humans didn't always win because they were stronger. They won because they cared enough to act.